46 days. That's how much longer I have to wait until I can get iOS 14 beta on my phone. As you can tell, I'm excited. I'm kind of hyped over here, I'm not gonna lie. So let's preview WWDC 2020. Here is everything we can expect. So this is actually the first time that we've ever had an online-only worldwide developer conference, and that's due to current events that are going on around the world. Obviously, Apple doesn't want to have an auditorium full of people right now. And this actually brings a few changes. So first off, we don't know if Apple is going to be pre-recording the conference or if they're just going to do it live. If I were Apple, I'd probably just pre-record it. It makes a lot more sense. Iron out all the bugs, iron out all the stutters, make the presentation perfect. Since it's going to be hosted online anyway, they don't really need to know if it was pre-recorded. So now let's get into the software that we can expect at the event. So we're going to start with the most boring of the software updates, tvOS 14. We don't have much confirmed for this software update, so I'll make this quick. The only leaked feature is apparently tvOS now is going to be getting an at-home workouts feature. So this is going to be good for current events. If you're bored at home and need something to do, your Apple TV can, get you up and get you motivated to get your butt in shape. And with your Apple Watch, just makes that experience even better. So maybe they can implement the Apple TV workouts and the Apple Watch with closing your rings. Hopefully they can implement that in a cool way. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what they implement in terms of activity features with the new tvOS update. So the new WatchOS update this year, there haven't been many leaks except for one feature, which I'll talk about in a bit, but we're obviously expecting new watch faces. I'm honestly not that upset with the selection of watch faces on my Apple Watch. I think Apple has done a very good job at having a very wide collection of different styles of watch faces. I never find myself getting bored, but they always do find a way to get creative and surprise us at the Worldwide Developer Conference. So I'm guessing we're gonna see maybe 3 or 4 new exciting watch faces come to the Apple Watch this year. And with the new Apple Watch Series 6, which is coming out in September, I actually made a different video about that. I'll link that right here if you want to watch that. So I'm guessing there's going to be a couple extra health improvements coming to WatchOS 7 as well. And now that one confirmed feature I was talking about. So the Apple Watch is getting a kids mode. So this is pretty cool. I think the Apple Watch can just be more than a notification machine. I think it can honestly keep people safe. And if parents want to keep track of their kids' location, for example, and always be able to contact them with messages, I think the Apple Watch is a great tool. And having a kids mode is able to restrict their usage to exactly what you want them to be able to use. So say you want to keep their communication limits down, you can control that with kids mode on the new Apple Watch update. So now in terms of macOS, we have had one leaked feature that Apple is apparently working on a new performance mode for the Mac. So apparently this can take better advantage of the CPUs and in some cases the dedicated GPUs of the Mac, and it can make it perform better over a shorter period of time. So I can see this being better if you want to export a video in 5 minutes. You can turn on the performance mode. It might eat through your battery a bit more, but you'll be able to export that video or do whatever tasks you want to do a lot faster. In the future, and I mean way down the future, we're expecting Macs to have an ARM-based processor, which pretty much means the Mac isn't going to run a chip from Intel anymore. It's just going to have a chip made in-house by Apple. So Apple may be getting the software ready for the future of Macs. We don't know specifically what they have to implement in the software, but since it's a whole new architecture of chip, they're definitely going to have to do some work behind the scenes, and we may be seeing that with the latest update to the Mac this year. And one requested feature that I would love is to bring the new extended cursor support to the Mac just like the iPad has. So for example, when you're mousing over something in iPadOS, the cursor can dynamically change if you hover over an item, similar to how it works in tvOS. And the experience is just magical, and it's so much better at 120 FPS on my iPad Pro that now when I use my Mac and the cursor is just static and it doesn't change, it really feels outdated. So this year I hope Apple can add some type of dynamic cursor to make the macOS cursor experience similar to how it is now on iPadOS. So getting now to iOS 14 and iPadOS 14, this is probably what you came to this video for. So right now, the only rumors are saying there may be a slightly changed home screen this year with iOS 14. So rumors are saying that we may be able to, for example, change our icons on our home screen to now be a dynamic widget. So a leaked image has shown this, slightly different sized squares on the home screen. The smaller ones are obviously icons, but the larger ones could be widgets that Apple is working on in iOS 14. So I guess we'll have to just wait and see. This image is all we have to work on right now. We also saw a leaked wallpaper picker. Now, unfortunately, it didn't show the wallpaper for iOS 14. It only showed the pre-installed iOS 13 ones, but it did show that Apple is going to be bringing more customizability to your wallpapers, such as adding a gradient to the pre-installed Apple wallpapers and probably any photo you choose to use. In terms of the iPadOS update, I don't want to sound like a complete Apple fanboy, but I am honestly so happy right now with my iPad Pro. I honestly can't think of any feature I would want added to it to make it more like a computer, because honestly, with my new Magic Keyboard on my iPad Pro, thing kind of feels like a computer itself. So of course, Apple is going to be adding some great updates to iPadOS 14. We just don't know what they're gonna add. And some other leaked information says that we're gonna have a new tab in the Photos app, the Photos app that comes pre-installed on your iPhone, that's gonna allow you to enter your photos into the Shot on iPhone campaign, which is the campaign that Apple uses to promote the camera systems on their latest iPhones. So this is pretty cool. It's gonna make submitting your photos to this a lot better. And I think Apple is going to be seeing a surge in people submitting their great shots for the Shot on iPhone campaign once this is fully implemented into the Photos app. Some other leaked features for iOS 14 include new notification features in the Find My application. So say for example, you're a parent and you want to keep track of your kid and they happen to have the new Apple Watch update with the kids mode on, and you want to be able to track their location to say when they got to school, for example. Well, your phone can now notify you when they arrive, or I guess when their iPhone arrives at the location that you have set up. And it'll tell you if they arrived early, if they arrived late. So this just kind of adds that extra layer of connectedness to the Apple ecosystem. I think I said this in my my video last year about iOS 13. It's not a big feature, but I'm always excited for the stock wallpapers that Apple chooses to include in this year's iOS update. I feel like Apple has kind of been down on their game with wallpapers recently. I haven't really liked any of them recently, but tell me in the comments below what your favorite stock Apple wallpaper is. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. So the Worldwide Developer Conference does not shy away from releasing hardware, and a few leaks have confirmed that we may be seeing a few devices launched at the Worldwide Developer Conference. So the first one is a miniature-sized HomePod. So right now the HomePod produces great sound. It's just so overpriced in my opinion. And if Apple can say get 95 or 90% of the sound quality that's in the original HomePod and just shrink it down and price it at $199, I think those things would sell really well. So that rumored HomePod Mini might be released at the Worldwide Developer Conference. Also, Apple is apparently working on a new pair of over-the-ear noise-canceling headphones that are going to be mainly competing with the expensive Bose over-the-ear headphones, and those are priced, I think, at $450. So these are going to be an expensive pair of over-the-ear headphones. I think a good name for these would be ProPods. Tell me in the comments though what you think. I also uploaded a video yesterday talking about why I think future iPhones are not going to get USB-C, and I think they're going to go portless. So if you're interested in watching that video, I'll have it linked right above my shoulder right here. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like on this video. My name is Michael,